drunk alcohol. You think I've never been a prisoner, taken hostage by my own self. Blood red, viral black, don't step on the cracks. Blood red, viral black, always under attack. Blood red, viral black, don't stand on the cracks. I'm under attack, under attack. Blood red, viral black, don't step on the cracks. Blood red, viral black, always under attack, under attack. Things that were happening, all the uncertainty that we're experiencing in the last few years with Brexit hanging over us, and a different kind of president in the USA, and what was happening in Korea and other places in the world. There's real uncertain times, and songs that were more written in response to that, I put them in a viral black theme, and so I thought writing a song called Blood Red Viral Black would coalesce the ideas, and that, so I wrote that song, and that how I just played it then, that's how I played it too. I was stood in a studio in Mono Valley, and I had James Stevenson there, Jules there, Billy Duffy there, and Smiley there, and I went, right, it goes like this, guys. And it's the first, it's very nerve-wracking playing a song for the first time that nobody's ever heard, and everyone's looking at, well, where do I fit in on this? And luckily we've got a fantastic producer to bring us all together, George Williams, who's from Blackpool, and he's an amazing talent, and he really allows us all to breathe and express ourselves, and bring a tight unit and make the record sound world class, which I really am proud of, for these with Equals and Blood Red. That is good a sounding records as anyone out there, I believe, so we're really grateful for that. So there's another song on the album which is a lot of people seem to have remarked on and picked it out on social media, and because this record has come from some places quite dark, really, with it's very well documented what was happening in our household between myself and Jules, with all the life situations we were contemplating and dealing with, and this is a song which came out of those situations, and it's a song called Psalm. The road that I travel is nearing the end. Got no regrets, I got nothing left. The birds will keep singing, the sun still shines to light up the spaces my shadow made blind. And I pray, 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 pray for love tonight. Yes, I pray, 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 don't give up the fight. I'd rather die than surrender. I've lived every moment like it was the last. There's nothing that I've said that I would take back. The tide goes out, comes back in, and brings with it mercy. Fought in the First World War in Ypres, and a great, used to tell me some amazing stories, and he wasn't a musician, but he'd taught himself to play the piano, and my family all ran pubs in North Wales. In fact, they ran a pub in Lancashire called the Lord Nelson in Urmston for a time, and so I got a lot of ties up to this part of the world through them. And but my granddad could. If anyone came in the pub and they'd learnt a song somewhere on foreign travels, he'd work it out on the piano. Next minute he could play it and he'd get the whole pub singing along. And I was like, oh, where I got all this bit from me from? But he was a great man. And when I went to America for the first time, he went to America after the First World War. He didn't really want to come home after all the devastation. And he wanted to get away from Europe, and he went. We had some family in Canada, and he went out there to get a job with Bell Telephone Company. And being Welsh, he saved up the money to come home. That was the first thing he did, was put the money under his pillow, so if he got homesick, or the hiraeth as we call it in Wales, he could just come home. And I think it was December the 31st, 1921, and he just got completely homesick watching all the fireworks go, and he liked the cigarette, and he was out on the patio in Chicago, and he's thinking about all his friends back home in Wales. He thought, I'm going home tomorrow. and he got the money out from under his pillow, bought a ticket, and came back. And he always said the best sight he saw was when he one of the sights he said was when I got to Lancashire and went across the Urmston Bridge. He thought, I'm home, you know. And when then he got to Wales, and it was the Menai Bridge, and he always gave me this great sense of belonging and wanting to come home, and that home is really where everything stems from, and all the influences and all who you are comes from being close to home and not losing sight of your roots. And when I first went to America for the first time in 1983, I said, Grandad, I'm going to America. You're not going to believe it where you went. He said, oh, that's fantastic. He goes, here's some money though, just in case you don't like it and you want to come home. And when I left to go to the airport, I looked at how much he gave me £25. Might get me on a Greyhound bus, but it ain't going to get me across the Atlantic, mate. But bless him. But you know, I think we're all the sum of the parts of all, you know, and some of a tight upbringing, and sometimes it can be come from a broken home, you know. But as I think if you look for the positives in life, then you'll come out on top. And that's all my mum and dad and my granddad always taught me, to look for the positives. And even when I was a punk rocker and my hair was spiked up and I was giving up my job in computers, and my mum and dad were horrified, they said to me, look, if it doesn't work out, you know that we're always here for you. And I think that was a great thing to go off, knowing that you've got that little bit of there's a bit of compassion there, and no one's going to judge you if you're success or failure. And that's really been the biggest influence of my whole life, yeah. Thanks.
What was it like?
There's things I got excited about, and but when we finished the record and we went through the creative process, which we documented in a film called The White Count, which we showed at Cardiff University on Saturday, and you can see this sort of eureka moment happen in the studio where I'm laying out the lyrics for Two Rivers for George, our producer, and he's asking what they're about, and so I had to explain them, and I actually started to realise, well, actually it's about more than I imagined, and so it needs a second set of lyrics to bring it all the way round, and it's where everything collides, all the, you know, the past and the future, the Daves and the Billy Duffys and the Alarm of Today, and the music all comes together, and that's why it's so I don't think when you play Sigma and Equals back to back, the start is the end or the end is the beginning. That's down to you to decide where how you're joined. But I think again it's like when the Alarm first started and we came on top of the Pops, and we had all the big hair and 68 guns, and people made a judgment on that, and some made a judgment that that's my band for life and they've stayed with us for life. But some people, I don't get that. But my ambition as a musician was never to be famous. It was always to make music for the rest of my life. And I thought, well, I want to be judged not today, but in the future, in the fullness of time. And I think we're coming to that point where people are having to reevaluate what they thought of the Alarm in the 80s and think, actually, this is a band that have written a long history and need to be looked at in such a way. And so hopefully Two Rivers, this song, can bring them to where we are now, but also can lead them right back to the beginning and start the journey for themselves of discovery of all the music that's been created in the name of the Alarm. And this song references the beginning as well as the future, and it's called Two Rivers. Love and hate unites us, all sides of the wall, fighters and lovers divide and fall. Now that I've found you, Tear down the walls of the barricade. Blood brothers, all our paths are crossed. The Testament divides and unites us all. One day we'll meet again, 'cause this fire will keep on burning. We can wash away all our sins, wipe the blood from our hands in the water, the cool, cool water. We can wipe the slate clean where the two rivers meet, where the two rivers meet. Carpe diem, my friends. I know you all so well. Outside of the courtroom, we mount our own defense. Friends become enemies, enemies and friends. The only thing that matters is what you leave behind when you reach the end. There in the blood red viral black, there when tomorrow becomes today, there when you have declared yourself unsafe, unsound, unknown, unwanted. Oh, if you can't see me, oh, you can't still hear me. We can wash away all our sins, wipe the blood from our hands in the water, the cool, cool water. We can wipe the slate clean where the two rivers meet.